Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jameelah, and I am a master manifester, and I'm sure you are too, because, well, you're watching this kind of content. The name of this channel is Manifesting Magic the Practical Way, because I do talk about a lot of practicalities to manifesting the magic that we want to experience, right? What I'm discussing today is when we hate the assignment, right? So, a lot of times in life, we're working on these really specific goals and we're working on these really specific things that we want to create and accomplish in our lifetime that we want to experience. But sometimes what we don't understand is that along that journey, they're like a series of assignments, right? So if you think about like a college semester, I can easily put anything into a curriculum design, a college semester, right? And you think about what you need to have prepared for the students in a college semester. And you think about, the introduction at the beginning of it, the excitement at the beginning of the journey. This is what we're going to learn. This is what we're going to do. This is what I'm excited about. This is where we're going. This is what you'll be able to do with this information later on in life, right? And then you get to the part where you start to lay out all the little pieces that's going to be involved to build their understanding, to be able to feel like they have intermediate level understanding at by the end of the course, right? So you start putting the pieces in place. This is what you're going to learn, and this is what this teaches. This is this objective. This is what this teaches, all that kind of thing. And then you get to the point where you start to get the assignments, right? Where you start to get the assignments. And you look at all the types of assignments, you're like, okay, these are discussion boards, these are quizzes, you know, this is a project, right? And then there's a final one that's a paper, right? I can honestly say people, most of them in all the classes I've ever taught, they hate the papers the most, right? Because that is the assignment that requires a culmination of everything along the journey that you are supposed to gather. And you're supposed to be able to have interpreted well enough that you can apply what you've learned and show the instructor on the other end that you get it, right? Think about your life and your journey like that. Think about the assignments that you're given along that journey. There are several things that you're working on in your life right now where you were excited about the beginning, you were excited about the teacher, you were excited about all the little pieces in place. They say, oh, I'm going to be able to do this by the end. I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to be able to do this, that, and that. And you like the first assignment. You're like, this is cool. I like it. It challenged me, but it didn't overtake me. I have what it takes. The second assignment, you're just like, yeah. This was a little bit more challenging, but knowing that I have what it takes and knowing that I have access to the resources to make it happen, blah. And then you get to that final assignment in this journey, in this course, in this particular stretch of understanding. You get to that final assignment. It's the one that you dread the most. Because you get to that assignment and you realize, I don't even know where to start. I thought I had this information. I thought I understood it. But if I'm not able to teach it back to someone, then what am I truly understanding about this information? And that is the part when I tell you that many of us um, that many of us give up on. That's the part that when people are making all these New Year's resolutions, when they get to one of the assignments that they don't like, it stops them from being able to get to the next level, right? So, what happens when you don't like the assignment? I can honestly tell you that that's truly the one that you probably need to learn the most from. See, the other ones were great because the other ones work within your realm of understanding. It worked within the way that you've already understood the world. It worked within all of the old tools that you've had from previous assignments that you carried over into it. You're just like, yes, I get to use all this stuff that I've learned, that I've gathered, that I've understood. But this new one, this final one, in this level that you're on, is requiring for you to be able to apply things that you've never had to apply in the way that you have to apply it on this level, right? So you may have had a good understanding of it. You may have had a great belief system as it related to the idea or, the next level or what you want to accomplish or achieve. But when the actual work or the actual assignment is there and it's something that you just like, yuck, but you know that your finish line is on the other side of it, is like that is where the true test of what you've been learning comes in handy. Because it's not always about the knowledge base, it's not always about the information, it's about the application of the information. And applying that information is not always fun on many different levels, especially when you're looking to take it to the next level, right? I've come across this place so many times in so many areas of my life. One and it's always this turning point. It's always this piece that I'm like, if I can get this part of the assignment, if I can be what I need to be in this part of the assignment, I know that the ascension is coming, the evolution is here, right? I know that my participation in this assignment is the evolution, is telling the universe, is telling the source, the creator, that I've mastered this level and there's another one that I'm headed to, right? I think, I don't know why, I think it's the heater. I think my throat keeps getting dry. I think the challenge of some assignments and the challenge, the level that you have to be on in order to be emotionally secure, in order to be mentally satisfied, mentally content, in order to be spiritually tapped in while going through these changes, like that is the assignment within itself, right? So you look at something in your life that's very challenging, something that you're having a hard time being able to get over or get past or to accept, right? Those are the biggest ones. Those are the ones where we grow the most and we expand and it stretch the most, right? From our perspective, from the way that we see it. Those are the ones that we feel are the most challenging, the most, the things that we get the most out of. Because when we learn something easily, we don't see that as growth, even though it's still growth. It's still expansion, it's still growth. We're just learning it without killing ourselves to learn it, right? We're just expanding ourselves before our life requires for that expansion to happen. For me, it's better to have an expanded base of understanding before the understanding is actually being challenged, because then you have the tools to go forward with. But when you have an assignment where you have this understanding that you haven't broached yet, this understanding that you don't have mastery of yet, that's when you think that you are learning the most. But I don't feel like that's the case. I think that's when you are fighting learning the most. But we're learning all the time with ease and comfort and effortlessness. We're open to it. We're like, oh, yeah, yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that was like that. I can do that. I didn't know. When we're fighting the learning and the growth and the evolution, we always think, oh, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much in that experience. You. I don't think that learning is any different than having to be yanked out of you or learning that comes easily. I think when we get to the point in our lives where we no longer allow the assignment to take us down, we're still learning. Even if it's easy, we're still learning, right? Because I shouldn't have to be yanked into everything. I shouldn't have to be beat down into submission every single time it's time for me to get a new lesson. I shouldn't have to be so dastardly uncomfortable that I'm seeking and looking and searching and, all that kind of stuff. I should be on the road to wanting to learn and to expand and to be all the time. And the only time when we get to this place where we think that we are growing extra because we're having to fight it is only because we've gotten so comfortable in that current circumstance that we are refusing. Well, no, this is what I'm saying. This is more important. I'll jump over to that next. We get so caught up into it that we start seeing it as an answer. Like there was a big problem in our life, and this is the answer we've given it. But if we can remember that every answer in life is an open-ended question, it's an open-ended answer, then we don't get stuck on any realities or any identities or any way of being that we think is the right way or the way of growing and expanding and doing. Because even when people don't think this, everybody I meet, we're all doing this all the time. We think we found an answer with something and we're going to sit with that answer because we don't need to explore anything else about it, right? And I've done this with several topics, and sometimes you have to put bookends on things so you can move on with your life, gather a belief system about it and be like, this works for me now. This is what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go focus on other things, because you can't have all these open doors of beliefs and understandings in your life. Some things you have to stick bookends on. But I find that things that we are more staunchly hopped up on creating bookends about, those are the things that we get pushed the hardest on. And it's not so much we get pushed the hardest on it because that's the only way that we can learn. We get pushed the hardest on it because that is the area where we are being the most resistant, right? Learning, growing, evolving, it doesn't have to be so resistant. Hating the assignment doesn't have to mean I'm going to be resistant of the assignment. Like I can do the assignment and hate it and still do it with grace and ease and effortlessness. All right. I think that that is an archaic way of approaching growth and evolution, is always thinking, I hate this thing so much. I'm railing against it. I don't want to believe that there's another way that it can be done. We don't have to feel that level of angst and aggravation when it comes to evolving and growing and developing, right? Like the assignments that we hate the most are just places where we're just the least open to learning. That's it. That's it. And if you realize, okay, in this situation, I'm the least open to learning because and then look a little deeper and a little deeper. Go 3 questions in and you'll find the real issue related to the assignment, that it's not the assignment itself. I can easily use this. I have an assignment right now in my life. It's to commute. I have a real problem with the commute, right? It's several layers of the problem with the commute. I've commuted in my life before. I've done it. I've chosen it several times, different seasons in my life. I've chosen it, right? But in this assignment, in this season, it felt like something that I chose as a lower version of myself. So every day, it's not just the commute that's getting the best of me. It's getting the best of me on the level that I am attributing this commute to a point in my life where I wasn't thinking at my highest point, and now I'm having to deal with the circumstances or the consequences of it, right? And that's just a fact of the matter. So while the commute itself is just like, right? Will 30 minutes less really make a huge difference in my life? Maybe to some degree, yes. 30 minutes less would be very, very, and not being in the game with other people out there, red lights, switching lanes, whatever's going on and all that. Yes, that would be better. But the biggest part is that this has been a part of the assignment that I've hated learning in the most. I refused to learn in that area because learning in that area meant I had to look deeper, meant I had to go 3 questions in, meant I had to go past, I just hate the commute, I hate the driving, blah, blah, blah. Why do you? Because I don't believe this should be a part in your life. Then why did you agree to this thing? Because when I was asked to do it at the time, I wasn't thinking my highest of myself, and I have scarcity mindset, and I'm a big believer in abundance mindset, and I hate that I let scarcity mindset bring me to this place. You see what I mean? So this is what we have to keep in mind, is like, it's not the assignment itself that we're actually hating. It's like, go 3 questions in and we'll realize that it's an area where we have the most resistance in. And for me, that is a big resistant area because I hated to believe that is manifesting magical mindset that I have, that I allowed myself to be in a scarce mindset for 10 minutes. And now I have to live with the outcome of the 10-minute of poor decision making, of poor understanding, right? Of not believing in myself fully. So you have to just keep in mind that whenever there's something that you're so resistant in, when you hate the assignment, when you're so angry about whatever it is that needs to be done, go 3 questions in. Ask yourself, well, why is it? Or what does that represent to you? Or what does that make you feel like? And what does this remind you of? And so really you're angry sometimes about a memory as opposed to what you're actually being asked to do today, right? Because everything is for a season. We can't get so caught up in things where we're making this season our entire life. We already know this is a season. I've done this before. It's been for a short period of my time in my life, and then it'll be over. That's the end of that season. You know what I mean? So yeah, what is it? What is the deeper question when we hate the assignment? And that's what I urge you to focus your attention on. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful day.